Yes. My name is Michael Schindler. I am your host, your master of ceremonies, your master of celebrations, and your ambassador of fun for this evening. I hope you're all ready to have a great time. If you are, can I hear just a little bit of noise that you're ready for this part? Let me hear it. Yes, I like that. Well, these people that are about to come down are feeling a little nervous. You know how to make them feel more comfortable is everybody rise up from your chairs and make a lot more noise out here. One more time, let me hear you say, yeah! Are you ready for the bridal party? Let me hear you say, oh yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the very special people that you came here to celebrate with, starting with the bridal party. Will you please put your... And now, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, the parents of the bride, Mr. and Mrs. Walter and Donna Java. Everybody, please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Lucy Glover, escorted by her man, Arturo Martinez. Lucy Glover is our groom's sister. Our bride recalled the first time that she ever met Lucy. Eric and Kelly were driving when the phone rang. Eric turned to Kelly and said, matter of fact, they were going to see my sister. No preparations, no plans, just driving. They pulled into the Burger King parking lot at Southbrook where Lucy had her shoes off and earrings pulled out, ready to open a huge can of whoop-ass on some girl. From that day on, Kelly has been frightened to death of Lucy. No, I'm kidding. Which is why they became so close. In Kelly's words, she's like a sister to me. A very scary sister. Today she is her sister. Please give a great big round of applause for Lucy. And that brings us to Arturo. Arturo is Eric's brother-in-law and Lucy's husband. He's a soft-spoken, generally good guy, and he's a perfect compliment to Lucy, who would get all gangsta on him if he wasn't. Bring it down a little bit. Lucy and Arturo usually come to Eric and Kelly's every Saturday to hang out and have a few drinks. It's supposed to be a good time social event, a social night, where Arturo always ends up fixing the computer. He sometimes even takes a ride with Eric out to the computer store to pick up parts. Little do Eric and Kelly know, he brought a bill for them tonight in the amount of $7,052.66 for services rendered. Please welcome Lucy and Arturo, everyone. Michelle is Kelly's best friend. Kelly first met Michelle when she started working at Renta Associates. They clicked right from the beginning, exchanging phone numbers and talking on the phone every day. Kelly told Michelle her life story within a week. And still, Michelle wanted to be friends. Kelly's job was to train Michelle, and it became a very difficult duty to do because she couldn't get a word in edgewise. Shut up! Michelle is one of those people who loves to talk. In fact, Kelly bought her a nurse's ER mask just for the wedding, not to protect her from germs, but to muffle her so that the officiant could actually marry them. And if any of you are looking for someone to talk to tonight, find Michelle. She is the beautiful and loquacious Michelle Schwartz, everybody! Rob is Eric's buddy of 3 years. Eric had gotten Rob a job where he works, and just recently he moved to another car dealership so he could keep his hair. The memory of Eric's is one day when they went jet skiing down at the Jersey Shore. They were racing against each other, X-Game style. Eric happened to cut in front of Rob, and Rob, trying to brake, flew off like a cannon shot into the air, face planting into the sea. That brings us to Chris. Chris is Eric's best bud. They met one day, and you'll be noticing that there's a theme here, ladies and gentlemen. Chris was hanging out with a mutual friend, Danny, talking about one of their favorite pastimes, who beat who up for what. They were all puffing up, and Chris said to Eric that he thinks he could take him. Eric, always the proper gentleman, gracefully accepted the challenge. Bring it, punk! Chris went to kick Eric, but as he was throwing his kick, Eric did a roundhouse sweep and put Chris on his buttocks. Chris was crying because he thought his tailbone was broken. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elizabeth Daly and Nick Giacomo! Excited to be a part of the wedding, she headed down to the dress place to try on the gown. She gives her name and asks for Kelly's wedding, and the salesperson comes back with a child-sized dress about this big.
Thank heaven for little girl.
It turns out that Eric had not seen Elizabeth in quite some time and thought she was about yay big. She graduated into a full-fledged bridesmaid. Everybody, please give a great big round of applause for Elizabeth, one of Eric's favorite newsies. Say hi to Nick, everybody. The aforementioned Chris Diaz. It probably didn't hurt that Nick's mom was quite fine to look at. Eric would check her out every time he swung by the house, and this used to make Nick very, very mad. And I'm sure he's pleased that I just brought it up right now. One day, Eric and Nick spent the night at a mutual friend's house. Nick passed out, so Eric thought it would be hilarious to set his sock on fire.
This girl is on fire!
While it was still on his foot. Nick woke up to a burning sensation and started shaking his foot to get it out. Eric could not help him because he was on the floor laughing his ass off. A very hot guy, but sorry ladies, he's taken. Please welcome Nick, everyone. And now, your maid of honor and best man, Diane Job and James Hill! Diane, everyone, is Kelly's sister, as you all know. Please give her a big round of applause. She's like, what's coming next? Well, you're going to love this one. One fond memory with Diane was as young girls, they snuck into the medicine cabinet and made off with the chewable vitamins. Yes, they jimmied the Flintstone vitamin open with a butter knife and ate them all. Or when they were young, they used to get into fights together, wherever they went. Again, the theme. Are you recognizing the theme, everybody? One time, Eric, James, and Kelly were at a house party in Franklin Lakes. Surprisingly, James happened to get into a fight with a guy, and many others started jumping in to help the other guy. It was 1 against 6. Well, they ended up kicking everybody's butts, and that was the end of that story. Although there was another day when they came home with black eyes and teeth missing, looking like a bad hockey game. But that's another story in another place. They used to get into fights everywhere they went, from house parties, clubs, and on the street.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
When you are Robin to someone's Batman, you have a very special bond growing up, and that's why James is Eric's best man. They've been hanging out with each other, but they have hung up their capes and cowls, and today James is, of course, a librarian. Now, he works for a moving company, but he's no longer a fighter, he's a lover. And ladies, he is single. Please welcome James, everybody. Please put your hands together for the first time ever on this planet or anywhere else. Make a lot of noise for your newlyweds. This is Mr.